Well, good morning, everybody. It's March 23rd, 2026, and the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning. My name's Bev.
Good morning, Bev, and happy equinox, yeah?
Yeah, I was on the 20th.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're in
indeed.
spring now, full bore, but it feels like
Well,
summer here in
I was going to
Tucson.
say, I think it's more like summer, Paul. I think.
Yeah. And happy birthday to you. You just had a birthday a couple days ago. Yes,
I did.
sirree. Spring chicken here. You're getting younger every
Yep.
year.
Oh, yeah. I'm still having them.
So, and happy birthday to all of you. What we're going to do today is talk about creating a healing habit and using BioTouch. We've talked about this a few times, but I was playing around with my dear friend Chat, and it was telling me, I was asking it about, how do you create a new habit? What's the time frame for a new habit? And what are the key elements for creating a new habit? And it said, well, first of all, habits are created in a window between a 21 and a 60-day period of time. And
Yep.
light bulb went off in my head. And it said, the basic thing is it shouldn't be complex. You got to be consistent if you can. And it should have an emotional reward. So I said, okay, well, if that's so, we have our 21-day challenge. Tell me what we can talk about on the Monday show in relation to using BioTouch to create a new healing habit. And lo and behold, here's the script.
Wow. Yeah.
We'll go over the little pieces and add on to it. The first thing is, well, why touch? Why do we want to even talk about touch in relation to starting to create a new habit? And again, we always talked about the idea of building relationship. Is
Yeah.
important.
Well, I think in terms of the why touch is, as we have said many times, the reason that BioTouch is so effective is you touch on the body, and the body holds it's everything. It holds everything that we are, everything that we're not. You know,
Yeah.
it holds everything. So we have to wake up the body to, and that's interesting because with BioTouch, especially when we talk about creating a habit and consistency with that, because that is, kind of like reprogramming. But what you're doing is with that touch is you are giving the body a possibility, an avenue to create a new habit
Right.
within itself. So we it's touch because that's exactly what we're doing. And the more consistent that we can be with our body with BioTouch, it begins a new habit,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah, I like what Chat talked about here. It's a habit that sticks when you feel like you're coming home, not doing homework.
Yeah, right.
So
Yes.
let's talk about how that can be. The first thing is, this is not about doing a full session every day and,
No.
worrying about all the different sets that you have to do. It's about just taking one set, and we'll start with the greeting. It takes, what did we decide, 30 seconds for me to
Always start with the
do it
greeting.
on you
Yeah.
and you to do it on me. 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So what we're always trying to say here, we're just trying to make it so easy. It's difficult to say no. you know.
Well, but when you talk about coming home instead of homework implies
Right.
but coming home is like when you experience BioTouch, what does your body feel? It feels loved. It feels cared for. What in the world is so hard about wanting that? I mean, seriously.
Well, what's hard is sort of what you experienced this past weekend with your daughter.
Yeah. That's always the crunch, isn't it? And that is why we need to start a new habit.
Right. Right. That's
Yeah.
true because we sort of put it off. It becomes, well, there's other things
It's
important,
so easy to get.
Right,
It's
right,
almost too easy. Yeah,
right.
I experienced that once again this
So,
weekend.
chat says the third thing is you should attach this habit onto an habit you already do. They call it habit stacking. I like that.
Yeah,
And so do it while you're brushing your teeth, or just as you get into bed with your partners, or you get up in the morning and you're just having a cup of coffee. Because remember, you can do biotouch anywhere.
anywhere, anytime.
You can do it at the coffee table. You can do it while you're watching TV. You can do it,
Yep,
pre, post brushing teeth.
yep.
People have always asked us, well, can you become dependent on doing biotouch? You
Please,
know,
please.
please.
Codependent.
Yeah.
I'm a biotouch codependency.
Right. Right. The one place codependency is a positive term,
That's right.
so we've always said to people, well, are you dependent on brushing your teeth? Are you dependent on all these other little habits we do to keep this
Yeah.
body healthy and happy and holy? We do all kinds of things. So what's wrong with adding a little 30 seconds to our day? So.
Seriously.
And then chat goes on to talk about focus on the sensation, not the result. You
Yeah. Oh,
know,
so be present, which is
yes,
exactly what BioTouch really brings us into the present moment to just
yeah. I mean,
experience.
just feeling those two fingers touching,
Yeah.
and we're going to show you how to do it again. Just feeling somebody else's fingers touching my body. You don't have to have this wow experience, or oh, I feel fingers. Oh, there's a little warmth there. you know
Right.
Not like, oh, my
Right.
headache's gone, or
Right.
oh, I've got this sciatic nerve problem. Just start simple. Just that greeting brings you into that presence we talked about with
Mhm.
another human being. And if you do that, it's going to pretty soon say, I'd like a little more. And so
Yeah,
we
your
actually
body's
have
definitely gonna want
three
it. Yes.
21-day challenges, which is that 60-day period of time
I
where we
know.
add just a little more every 21 days. But just starting with that greeting, and we tell people that just doing that, you're going to create a healing process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
Gonna
next thing that
feel it.
goes on is people quit habits when they break the streak. Don't normalize imperfection. you know
Mm,
there's no
yeah.
failure here. It's
Right.
I mean, you can perceive Bev sitting over you, with a ruler or something, if you want, if that helps you.
Oh, my. Well, thank you for that image.
But otherwise, hey, if you forget to do it while you had your coffee, then do it when having lunch, or do it while you're sitting down to TV, or if you can't remember that, do it when you're going to bed at night. And if you
Yeah.
miss a whole day, big deal. Pick it up the next day. Don't
No
beat yourself
kidding.
up. Yeah.
I know. We do enough of that anyway, don't we?
Yeah, it's all about gentleness. I mean, the technique
Yes.
is
Loving,
gentleness.
loving, loving
Yes.
yourself, love the one you're with. Remember that song? If you
Yeah.
can't be with the one you want, love the one you're with.
Go ahead, sing it for us. You're the songster.
No, it's BioTouch. Love the one you're with.
So that's all we're trying to do. It's a simple placing of the index and the middle finger lightly on the skin. We're going to show you how to do the greeting here in a minute. Um, and again, it goes back to, chat came up again with, make it a relational thing. Just
Oh,
we've got
always
enough of putting ourselves in boxes and, being touch
separating
phobic,
ourselves,
and there's
isolating
so much
ourselves.
coming on the news now about, sexual improprieties and this and that. But we can change that. We can bring back the reputation of touch, and
Yes.
doing that greeting can really help us do that with our family, with our spouses, with our neighbors, with our children. Imagine getting the children to work on the parents and the grandparents just with
Yeah,
that simple touch. You're not trying to do something. You're just bringing that touch in, and then watch what happens. You know, we're wired for this. It's not, you're not adding something from outside. This is, you're born. What is it
you're
Kenna
you're
said?
reclaiming what's
Yes,
already
that's a good word.
there.
Reclaiming. Yeah.
We are. We're reclaiming it all, our birthright. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kenna said the first she used to deliver babies, and she said the first thing a child it does is reaching. It's touch. It's that touch. What's happening? Comes out the birth canal. It's touched, and it's grabbing to be touched. It's being, the
Yeah.
holding of the child. And she says when she was working with the dying, their last sense before they passed over was the sense of touch.
Hmm.
So, from birth to death, this is a very powerful
Powerful.
opportunity. Yes, to
You know
bring,
what? We are offering BioTouch in a couple of ways with birth doulas, but there's
right,
a big movement going on, death doulas. BioTouch would be absolute, well, as we say, for all stages of
right,
life.
all stages of life. I have an interview today with a fellow who's created a organization up in the Phoenix area that's working with elder parents and how to take care of them and what can you do and what are the different
Yes.
options out there
Oh my
and
goodness.
he had never
Perfect.
really heard about BioTouch. I'm sort of surprised we even hooked in, and so there's a podcast that we'll be sharing with everybody. It's a 30-minute podcast I have with him today. So, you
Good.
know,
I don't think it's weird. I think it's time.
it's time. It's time for BioTouch.
It
We
is.
have lots of things coming up, so stay tuned for all the things happening here at
Absolutely.
International Foundation of Biomagnetics. So,
You bet. You bet.
and one of the main things Chad talked about is don't make it complicated. Keep the simplicity.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it really is just touch. That's why our website is just touch. Our email is just touch. That's why everything we say is just touch.
Just it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't.
that's really all you have to be present with. Everything else is just, but we're trying to, this gentle, loving technique, but it's so powerful in what it is, the possibilities when you start to practice it. It's very cutting edge for this time because it's asking us to create a new way of thinking about ourselves and about each other and about remembering our connection with each other. I mean, the timing's perfect.
Yes.
We've been waiting for this. Humanity needs this.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just a loving, gentle way to bring us back to where we need to be as a whole group, the humanity of us all.
Right, and that's why we're talking about it. It's about whole humanity. It's about not about belief system. It's not about
Right.
religion. It's not about social economic
Nothing.
status. It's not about where you live on the planet or what language you speak.
And
In
it
this,
breaks it all down.
it's for everyone. So let's again, we're going to share with you, and we're going to have this posted on our website also that you can link to and share it with other people. Here's a little ditty. It was created by Eileen up there at BioTouch Dove Mountain. And it's just a cute little 1 minute thing of how to start with just the greeting in a 21-day challenge. So here we go. There it is.
There it
One
is.
minute. That video was 1 minute. And if you just played it and watched it, you would have the greeting. And again, just so it didn't have any words, it just had a nice little song to it. Again, it's the index and the middle finger of whatever your dominant hand is, and you're touching the skin lightly like a butterfly. If you see an indentation, that's a little too hard. And as we say, if you're drawing blood, that's way too hard. So,
Yes.
so
There's enough of that going on.
yeah, so just lightly, like a butterfly. And again, that first point is just below the breastbone in the soft tissue area. And the second point is just to the left of the big bone at the base of the neck. And that video shows exactly, how to find it. So just do the greeting. If you want to get part of get these little emails about the 21 days to remind you about doing it and be in communication with us, just send us a little email. We'll put you on the drip for the 21-day challenge.
Yeah.
And it gives you the little reminders to do that. office@justtouch.com. So, it's so simple. The habit is so simple. We don't even need to go the full 20 minutes because we've said everything we need to.
Me too. It's time for a new habit.
New habit. Please take the challenge. Join us. Just Touch. Share it with your family, your friends, and your neighbors, and let us know how we can help you make BioTouch a new habit.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind, and the pain is too much. What we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.